B Money's in the house.
Episode 168 of Weighing In with Travis Hartman. I am B Money, the producer. That over there is the talent, Travis Hartman, a.k.a. Weekend Trav. Where am I?
Hola, mi amigo.
We are in studio. This is crazy. Forget that. Let's jump right in. Boxing fans' worst nightmare. Jake Paul knocks out Mike Tyson. November 15th, Dallas, Texas.
Yeah.
What do you have to say about that?
Yeah, it would be. Listen, I wouldn't say I'm a Jake Paul advocate, but I've been a defender of what he's been doing. I've kind of stuck up for it a little bit in the realms that, like, I thought he was taking the sport pretty serious. However, if you knock out my beloved Mike Tyson and the world's beloved Mike Tyson, but honestly, he wasn't my favorite fighter growing up, honestly, and that's weird to say because everybody loved Tyson. He wasn't my favorite fighter. I didn't mind him. I've become more of a fan of Tyson the older he's gotten.
Sure.
He's funny. He's personable now. I relate to him a lot now, and I like Tyson. I don't want, because this is an official pro boxing match. This is not an exhibition. They've licensed this as a official,
it's crazy.
Which tells me Mike Tyson is in the Hall of Fame. On his Hall of Fame resume, his last ever fight is going to be against Jake Paul. It will be on Mike Tyson's. Yeah. Well, if the fight happens, yes, it's going to be on Mike Tyson's resume that he fought Jake Paul. Whether he wins or loses, it's still going to be on his resume as this official boxing record. And if he knocks him out, I will cry.
Yeah, listen, I don't. We're talking about somebody when the fight actually happens. So this fight happens once again next month, actually a few
November
weeks.
15th.
November 15th in Dallas, Texas. It's on Netflix, folks. So if you have a Netflix subscription, you could watch this thing. It's not even pay-per-view, which is crazy. You're going to be talking about somebody that's almost 28 years old in Jake Paul, taking on somebody that just eclipsed a few months ago, 58 years old. Okay? That's a massive age discrepancy, and I get it. You see the sparring videos, you see the workout videos. Mike Tyson looks like he's in great shape. Yeah, he looks like he's in great shape. It's for a 58-year-old.
Well, we're seeing what they let us see.
What is
he
allowed.
Does look pretty good in short bursts. He does, and I'm sure he still has his power. His speed looks decent, but again, I think he's 58 or 59. I don't know what he's. Either way, he's almost 60.
He'll be 58 in 5 months, I think it is officially.
No, he just had a birthday.
Yeah, a few months ago.
Yeah.
I remember, because this fight was supposed to happen.
July 20th.
Yeah, quite some time ago. So, and I'm taking this all off of the perfect source for information, Wikipedia. So take that for what it's worth. Fight is set for 8 2-minute rounds. 8 2-minute rounds. Yep. They've made a lot of concessions for this to be an officially sanctioned heavyweight bout, Weekend Trav. I don't like that aspect of it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That favors Tyson. If you're Jake Paul, you'd be like, I want to do 3 minutes. So obviously Jake Paul's not the A side. Mike Tyson is the A side still, even though Jake Paul is very popular. Jake Paul is still not the A side. Mike Tyson, he's 50 wins, 6 losses, 44 KOs, 58 years old in 4 months, 5'10" versus 6'1". They got Jake Paul's weight listed as 225. He hasn't weighed that in one of his single fights. He's been 190s, 195s, but yes, he's probably going to be over 200 because you have to be to fight professional heavyweight division. It's 201 plus, and these guys both will be that. And as the accolades, Mike Tyson is a former undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. Jake Paul is the former undisputed heavyweight champion of the YouTube division.
Yeah. Gosh. I don't know. We can try.
Are you excited about this?
We haven't spent a lot of time on this, to be honest. I mean, when we were leading up to July and it got postponed because Mike Tyson had some health episodes, something on an airplane. There's all sorts of weird stuff. We haven't really talked about it since. I'm gonna be quite frank here. I'm not excited for this main event on this card here on Netflix on November 15th. I'm not excited for the main event. Am I going to watch it? Yeah, because it's a circus act.
Yeah.
Same when Conor McGregor took on Floyd Mayweather. It was a circus act. Of course I watched it.
That was a money grab.
And were we surprised by the outcome? 100% no. So if when Jake Paul more than likely is victorious, am I going to be surprised? No, because he's freaking 27 years old taking on somebody that's old enough to, he could technically be old enough to be our father.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, if he had a kid when he's 16,
it's Mike,
15,
though.
16.
Mike was probably having kids at 15 if he wanted to.
We don't want to speculate. He had Tiger by the time he was 18, right, or 19.
I think he was 20 because he was heavyweight champion of the world.
Got it. Oh, so
but even then, he could almost be our father still.
Yeah. So I'm not super excited about it. They're selling the hell of it, and they have been for a year now, it feels like.
I mean, Paul's been calling Tyson out for a little bit.
Yeah, but I think it's going to really ramp up over
the next 2 weeks. Sign the papers.
So do we want to talk about that main event, or do we want to go on to the actual fights that are very interesting on this card?
Yeah, I like that better.
Well, let's go co-main event and then one of the undercard fights from a local talent that we've had on the show. So let's talk co-main event. I'm really excited for this one.
Same.
This is Amanda Serrano taking on Katie Taylor 2.
2022 Fight of the Year, I believe.
Yeah.
And it was also on mine, not women's Fight of the Year. We called that the Fight of, and I was 100% on board. I didn't say women's Fight of the Year.
That was ours.
Fight of the Year, Madison Square Garden.
That was the podcast's Fight of the Year. Was that I remember it, and
rightfully so.
It was a war. It was a great fight. I'm looking forward to that one a lot.
Me too. I'm a little upset it took 2 years to make the rematch. I hate when that happens. I think Katie Taylor even lost in the process of all that in an interim fight. But I'm excited about it. You're right. I think in the true boxing world, the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson doesn't really mean that much at all, right?
Right.
Win or lose for Mike. Mike's 59,
doesn't
58.
mean anything for Jake Paul either.
No. Jake, honestly, the only win for Jake Paul is the money, because this is a lose-lose for Jake Paul if you think about it. If he beats Mike Tyson, it's you beat a 58-year-old.
Correct.
If you lose, you lost to a 58-year-old.
Correct.
But he's in the headlines. We're talking about him, and he's going to make a boatload of money. And in my opinion, I think this will end up being the most watched boxing match of all time.
Really?
Yes.
Of all time?
Because they are streaming it live on Netflix globally, and it's not pay-per-view. So if you have a Netflix subscription, you are going to tune in. And if you don't, you're going to pay $10 that month just to get it.
You'll go to someone's house and watch it.
Or that too. So I think it's going to wind up being one of the most watched boxing matches of all time.
One of the or the most?
Most.
It's different. Okay.
Well, listen, I say one of the most right now because eventually maybe Netflix is trying to get into the game and they put on even a bigger fight.
Well.
But currently, I think it will be the most watched boxing match of all time.
Okay.
To this point.
I guess we shall see, but main event aside, the co-main event, I think where it's at. You alluded to Katie Taylor, yes. Not her last fight she won. It was the rematch with Chantel Cameron.
Yep.
She had lost her 23rd fight to her, and that was for a lot of different belts.
And I think she went up in weight to do it maybe too, and that's what it was. I'm pretty sure she went up in weight. I think she did. I'm going to double check it, but I'm pretty sure she went up in weight and lost. She was daring to be great. I love it. Even the women are daring to be great now.
So when she lost to Cameron, that was for all the different light welterweight titles, the female ones, and then she won them back in the rematch against Chantel Cameron, both going the distance, both going 10 rounds, both in Dublin, Ireland. So kudos to Cameron for taking that fight. So here we are, Amanda Serrano, again. What are we thinking on this one?
This is a tough one. This is a very because honestly, that first one, if it would have went to Serrano, nobody would have argued. If it would have went to Taylor, and it didn't go to Taylor, so nobody really argued that. But Serrano is now also 36 years old. I am not saying that's old by no means because it's not. But Amanda Serrano has 50 pro fights
sure.
now. That's a little long in the tooth.
Body of work wears on you for sure.
It does. And she's been no stranger to fighting top level fighters, especially here. And she fought a 12 3-minute round fight as well. We were at that one here at Carib Royale in Florida. We were at that fight and it went 12 rounds. So she's been a lot of her fights have went the distance here lately since 2022. She's only had one knockout since 2022. She had a knockout in 2021. And then she didn't have another one until 2024, July, until just recently. So, she's been going the distance, which wears on you more. The more you go the distance, the harder it is on you. But she lost a split decision against Katie Taylor in March of 2022. And that, I was actually okay with that scorecard. So, the 96-94, it went to Serrano.
Yep.
I was okay with that. The other 93-97, 93-96, I was not real happy with that because I do believe that Serrano, nobody went down that fight, but Serrano hurt Katie Taylor massively, and somehow she hung on. And if she would have went down, then I think Serrano might have won that fight. But she didn't go down. She hung on because Katie Taylor is tough. But this is a crazy good fight.
Yeah, I was happy with the result because I had money on Katie Taylor in that fight. Now, this time around, I'm not sure what I'll do with it. However, I could see this weekend, Trav, one way or another being Amanda Serrano's last fight. Either she goes out on her shield or she goes out on top. I could see that being, because at this point, what else do you have to prove? Where else do you go?
So because if she wins, where else do you go is the trilogy.
Possibly.
You lost the first, you win the second.
Possibly.
The biggest
the money's
possible.
There.
Yeah, they made over $1 million each, I believe. Yeah. I think it was closer to $2 million. And we're talking about women's professional boxing making over $1 million.
That could be, but think of the atmosphere there. They're going to be. I don't know if this thing. Dallas is a massive stadium. Yeah, I mean, is it sold out?
I don't know, but it holds over 100,000 people.
Could you imagine fighting at a bigger stage for the third one?
Yeah, I mean, they fought at Madison Square Garden. I would still say Madison Square Garden is bigger than the Cowboys, bigger of a boxing mecca than the Cowboys Stadium.
100%, but size-wise, the amount of fans that are there.
That's what she said. I mean, I don't know, go over to Katie Taylor, go over to Ireland somewhere, and you could sell out a soccer stadium with 100,000. I mean, if the women sold out a soccer stadium in England or Ireland, oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, Katie Taylor, she's not English. They're probably going to kill me for that. But she's in Ireland. So if they fought in Ireland and they sold out a soccer stadium, that would be huge. Yeah.
Well, I guess we shall see. So to that event on November 15, it's a Friday, by the way. Friday night.
It's the first big time fight that's on a Friday night that I've seen in a long time.
But not like this. This is stacked.
This is like Mike Tyson big.
So that's the fight I'm mainly looking forward to. However, I do not want to discredit one of the undercard fights, which will probably be, I think, one of the main show as well.
Yeah.
And that's local talent Corey Too Smooth Marksman.
Alumnus of Weighing In with Travis Hartman.
He did an interview. Check it out in our catalog. It's on In This Corner interview, Travis Hartman with Corey Marksman. But he's taking on Lucas Badi, which we saw in Tampa when he dismantled
Ashton H2O Sylvie,
which is one of the MVP guys, which is one of Jake Paul's guys.
Rising star, and he was a rising star in that division, 140.
And Ashton Sylvie, to his credit, he looked like he was winning the fight.
He was 100% winning.
But it wasn't like an overwhelming.
No, but he was winning. All the scorecards he was winning.
It was one of the nastiest.
I was
knockouts. It wasn't one punch. It was the second punch that made me queasy to watch.
I don't know if you've seen me, but I got up out of my seat after he stayed down and walked towards the ring, very concerned.
So, aside from that, Corey Marksman's taking on the guy that did that.
Yep.
He did that to Ashton Sylvie. Corey Marksman, solid talent. Here from Orlando, he has his gym, right? So
it's in Sanford, Marksman Academy.
Marksman Academy up in Sanford, and we are really looking forward to him. Awesome for him to get this opportunity.
Huge. Cowboy Stadium, Netflix, Jake Paul, Mike Tyson. What an opportunity.
When we were in Tampa, Florida for Jake Paul taking on Mike Perry, Corey Marksman was also on that. And so
in a rematch.
And he made the most of it.
He did.
Okay, so he's had a couple of more nationally televised fights now, and now earning this to be 100%. In Dallas. Great payday, great opportunity, and I think he's going to do some damage here.
I think that what we saw Ashton H2O Sylvie do to Badi, which was outbox him, counterpunch him, move, that's exactly what Corey Marksman does. Yeah. However, Badi possesses that one-punch KO capabilities. So Marksman, I think, is a phenomenal talent. I think is a phenomenal defensive talent as well. And his counterpunching is insane. His reflexes are insane. So I think this is a made, ready-to-order fight for Corey Marksman.
Yeah.
And he's getting to do this on a massive stage. And to be fair, both guys earned this, right? Lucas Badi earned this too because he just knocked out Ashton H2O Sylvie, who was Jake Paul's first signee, I believe.
By the way, I wonder if that was going to be kind of where it was going to go, would be Ashton Sylvie and Corey Marksman. Could you imagine that fight?
I would love that.
I would love that too.
Corey beat this guy, set up an Ashton H2O Sylvie fight.
Well, Ashton, I'm sorry, but Ashton now has to do something to get back up there.
You're not wrong there.
So overall, So we look forward to that. And obviously our support's going to be behind Corey Marksman no matter what. But we're not just saying that. He's super talented. We've been watching this guy for years now. What I will say is looking at the fight card in general, unless it's changed much, which it always changes a little bit as we get closer. I mean, you got Mario Barrios on this thing. Shadasia Green, okay. I mean, she didn't look that great in Tampa, but, once again, another MVP person. But there's a lot going on here.
We watched her lose at Crib Royale, didn't we? To our girl. Oh, my gosh. You know who we're talking about, right? She fought Ashley.
Francon Cruz.
Francon Cruz beat her at Crib Royale.
Yeah.
But, okay. I digress.
What the fascination is with some people in the boxing world with like her.
I digress.
And then who's the one that we saw the other women's fight about a year ago? We couldn't believe that the British fighter lost. She subsequently just lost.
Oh yeah. Oh my God, the one who just fought Michaela Mayer.
Yeah.
What was her name? I almost forgot her name.
Well,
oh my gosh, I'm so bad.
I forget because she kept pushing us off and blowing us off for an interview. So
yeah, she was going to come on the podcast, and she didn't come on the podcast. Our British correspondent had it set up a couple of times, and she backed out.
Trav, were you the one that threw paint on her?
Cool.
Did you throw paint
at Madison Square Garden? I wish I did, but I was not. I shouldn't say I wish I did.
No, you didn't.
I didn't mean that.
We were in Milwaukee.
But we were in Milwaukee, so we are supporting one of our boys, Alex Spartan Nicholson, who's also got a fight coming up too. I think in November.
Maybe next time she should come on the show.
Yeah, you should come on the show.
Bad luck.
Just saying.
Anyways, so the card in general looks very good. I'm not looking forward to the main event because really the potential of boxing fans' worst nightmare is teeing itself up. Jake Paul knocking out Mike Tyson.
If somehow Jake Paul knocks him out, it would send shockwaves through.
It would be devastating to the
Sandy Ryan.
Yeah. Well, okay, we're done talking about her.
Sorry.
It would cripple the childlike boxing fan in all of us.
It'd break my heart.
If Jake Paul, who is busy trying to sell everybody on his W deodorant, which stinks, by the way.
I don't know.
Your promo people in Tampa, they were just spraying it on everybody as they walked by. I don't want to smell like that shit.
They did not attempt to assault me because if they did, I would have fought back. I did not get it sprayed on me. But you better back up.
Maybe I just stunk. Maybe I just stunk. I don't know. That could be. Anyways, so that's that.
It could have possibly happened that way.
November 15th, Friday night, Netflix. Tune in. I really hope they have all the tech side covered because could you imagine if like something like gets messed up?
I hope that they're bringing on somebody that has done these big fights before. But also, I want to reserve the fact that Mike Tyson was the first fighter that broke my heart. I was about 10 years old. Maybe younger. He got knocked out by Buster Douglas. I thought Mike Tyson was invincible like the rest of the world. And I was like 10, 11. I watched that fight live. I still remember to this day Mike Tyson on his hands and knees rummaging around for his mouthpiece, puts his mouthpiece back in his mouth, and it's hanging halfway out. He gets up, and they called the fight off. Broke my heart. And I wasn't even a fan, but I was just like, that's Superman. Nobody beats Mike Tyson. So I'm saying that because I don't want to get my heart broken twice, Mike. Come on, Mike. Don't break my heart twice. That's all I'm saying. Okay. I'm just, you know what? I want to bring this up too.
Okay.
The fights a couple weeks ago at the Crib Royale, Tim Tszyu versus Murtazaliev. I got that right, bro.
Yeah.
They fought. And I only bring that up because Antonio Tarver was ringside.
Right.
He sat right in front of me. So I had the opportunity to speak to Antonio Tarver. We chatted for like 30 minutes, man. Yeah. He's actually a good guy. I used to not like him, but I want to have you on the show, Antonio. But I told Antonio to his face, I said, I hated you for a very long time. You knocked out. Adrian was there. Joe was there. I said, you knocked out my favorite fighter of all time. He goes, join the club, Trav. He goes, the whole world hated me. Yeah. So what I'm saying, and why I say that is because Mike Tyson, please, for the love of God, don't let Jake Paul knock you out. That's all I'm saying. If you lose a decision on points, fair enough. I would expect that. At this point, I would expect that. But Mike, you don't even have to win, but just don't break my heart again. I'm too old for that.
It'll be a speedy fight one way or another because you're talking about basically ladies rounds.
8 2-minute rounds. 16 minutes.
Ladies championship fight of 8 rounds. So anyways, fun fact about Antonio Tarver. He beat Rocky Balboa in an exhibition fight.
He did. You want to know a fun fact about that too? When he was recording that,
okay, yeah.
After he recorded that, I don't know where you thought I was.
I thought it was real,
but it is real. I have a fun fact.
Rocky Balboa.
He was in a movie with Rocky Balboa.
I'm joking.
Is that where you're going?
Sylvester Stallone is the actual actor. Yes. I was just okay. Never mind.
But anyway, he recorded that movie though.
Yes.
And then in the middle of recording that movie, he fought Antonio Tarver.
Yep.
In Atlantic City, New Jersey. I fought on that card, pay-per-view card. I fought 2 TV fights before the main event. I fought Jorge Paez Jr. and I got to see Antonio Tarver. And I didn't like Antonio Tarver then, but Antonio, come on the podcast. We can talk about it, and
it'll be healing. We can squash. It'll be a healing and therapeutic session for Weekend Trav. So please do. Weekend Trav, who is the Kevin Bacon of the boxing community. They're 6 steps away from everybody.
I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, you playing that? Okay.
That's pretty good because I feel like I do know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody.
You always do.
Veronica.
So, Vaughn, yeah.
Yes.
Come on, we haven't
lost
a step. We just haven't been in studio for a while. That's all.
I'm really shocked that you picked that one.
I forgot. I'm happy you picked that up. Veronica Vaughn wanna touch the hiney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know somebody.
Yep.
Who did? No, you don't.
No, you don't.
Well, I know somebody who knew somebody who did.
But could you imagine if I did?
Yes. We butchered it, but still, whatever.
So that's November 15th, Netflix. Tune in. That's a Friday night. Make your plans now. And let's move on, Weekend Trav, because there's an event that we will be attending. I say we. In Sanford, Florida. Saturday, November 2nd. That's the Rumble at the Ritz.
Rumble at the Ritz.
Okay. That's promoted by Mike Sawyer Promotions. Okay. You just interviewed the main event.
Let's go. Jonathan Cortez.
That's right. So that probably dropped before this did, I would think.
Depending
on the production team.
The production team. They're sitting right
That's
here.
Setting up to be a pretty fun show. Okay, I'm looking forward to that. This Saturday, they're up in Sanford, Florida, Rumble at the Ritz. If you have not gotten your tickets yet, we probably will have a link or something like that below, so take a look. If you're listening on YouTube or wherever else, or watching on YouTube, and you're listening to the audio side on Spotify, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, which is plays constantly in my Tesla, all those things. We are out there, so please tune into that stuff. Check off to make sure that you're following our content, subscribing, especially on YouTube, helps the metrics. But yeah, this Saturday, Sanford, Florida, November 2nd, Rumble at the Ritz.
Message us because I happen to have 2 $65 VIP ringside tickets. So if you want them, let's go.
And want to pay for them.
They're not free. Yeah. They're not free. I said, yes, they're $65 each.
Anything?
Let's go.
So let's talk briefly about that because I know we're starting to run on time, but let's talk briefly about that if we can. Talk about the main event to me for a moment here.
Listen, first of all, since when have we ever cared about running long on time when we record podcasts?
Well,
Can we get back?
I forgot how damn hot it is in here. Yeah, I'm sweating.
I feel really good. This fan is blowing over here.
I used to have a fan blowing on my nuts, and I missed that. Where's that at?
Well, you know what? We had to cut the budget a little bit. We haven't had any big time people on the podcast for a minute, so budget's a little tight. But the main event, Jonathan Cortez, Jeremiah Pitts, I think. But anyway, he's 2-1. Jonathan Cortez is 4-0, 4 knockouts. We have saw Jonathan Cortez fight at the Crib Royale a couple of times. Great guy. We're so happy that he made time out of his day to come out here and do the podcast here at the TH Boxing facilities, which has been getting a lot of love here recently, and I appreciate that. But it's his very first main event. It's also his very first 6-rounder. He's a good guy. His faith is really good, and I love that. Not that if he didn't have faith that I'd root for him any less or more. I'd still root for him. But his faith is very good. He's trained his butt off. He's one of the guys who I can say takes the sport very serious. The guy lives in the gym, whether he's training for a fight or not. We chatted about it on the podcast. He stays in shape. He stays fight ready all the time, which is a very positive thing to do. And he's taking the sport serious because he got a late start to it. Turned pro at 28 years old. He's 30 now, but he's fighting in his first main event in Sanford at the Rumble at the Ritz, promoted by Mike Perry. Mike Sawyer.
Mike Sawyer Promotions.
Mike Perry. I still love you, Mike Perry.
Pretty cool venue. This is the first time that they're going to have a boxing show here, but it's a pretty cool venue.
It looks like a very interesting setup.
Yeah.
That's all I can say. It looks interesting. It's hard to judge it until it happens, but it looks interesting.
It's all about the quality of the fight, so we won't know until after we watch. But overall, I know a lot of work's been put into it, so we look forward to supporting that here coming this weekend, November 2nd on Saturday. Get your tickets now if you have not. Take a look at the description below of this content, find the link, or just reach out to us. We'll set you up with the right people.
I believe it's MikeSawyerPromotions.com. I believe.
It probably is. Okay.
MikeSawyerPromotions.com.
Now, the night before, there's a lot of boxing activity.
It's Orlando, is there not? Dude,
which is,
boxing's awesome.
We keep saying is the hub of the Southeast for boxing.
Yes.
Name another place in the Southeast that's getting this much notoriety for fights. Nowhere.
And you know why? Because our boys at Boxlab. Our boys at Boxlab, the last 4 years or so, have really hammered it home.
Yep.
And we called it. Thank you. We did. Nobody can say they called it before we did, because we did. We called it on the podcast 4 years ago. I'll find a podcast where we said, hey, these guys are end up making it. We exaggerated a little bit. We're like, they're going to make the new hub of boxing in the United States. Fair enough. But there's been some great big fights here. Tell me there hasn't.
If you are a follower of our content, you know very well we don't exaggerate anything.
Nothing. Because we are the #1 boxing beards and bourbon podcast, shot in Orlando, Florida, specifically.
In Laureate Park.
Shot in a
boxing gym.
Specifically on the second floor of said boxing gym. But now we're on the first floor of the boxing gym, inside the TH boxing ring, where a world champion has trained and operated in the world.
In the world,
Craig.
It's been a while since we said that. But this Friday, so November 1st, the day before Rumble at the Ritz, which is in Sanford. This one here is in Orlando at the Caribe Royale again.
Yep.
There is another Boxlab show.
These guys are putting on shows like every couple of weeks.
You'll be able to catch it on DAZN as well.
DAZN. Jermaine Ortiz. Think about this. This guy just fought Teofimo Lopez and lost a 12-round decision.
It was in July, right? So,
yeah, over the summer. Yeah. Lost a 12-round decision on 2 of the judges' scorecards. It was 113, 115 on 2 judges' scorecards. Yeah. If you do the math, it was 1 round away from being a draw and could have actually swung the other way. Jermaine Ortiz just let his contract with Top Rank expire. And I haven't got a confirmation, but I'm going to say this because I'm pretty sure it's true. He signed with Boxlab.
Maybe.
Specifically. So, not saying 100%, but I haven't got a confirmation yet. I sent it out. But I remember seeing a press release. He is fighting the main event on DAZN on a Boxlab promoted card. So I do believe...
outside of his Top Rank contract. So
exactly.
He may or may not have.
Yes, so
that's what I like to say.
We don't want to get sued. We don't want to get taken down, because I remember watching a Joe Rogan podcast with
Donald Trump.
I only watched 10 minutes. I haven't finished the whole thing yet. Yeah. But I remember him saying something in there. It was like, hey, can we play this video? And then he was like, all right, let's not play the video because I don't want to get taken down. I don't want to get all this stuff. So we have to be more careful with copyright stuff.
Yeah.
So now we can't show as much stuff, but I'm going to talk about it like Joe Rogan talked about it. I believe that Jermaine Ortiz's contract expired with Top Rank. I believe that he is fighting in his first part of his new contract with Boxlab.
Possibly.
But I can't be 100% sure. But I'm also not 100% unsure either. I can neither confirm nor deny that he is fighting for Boxlab. What I do know for sure is he is the main event on a DAZN card on Friday, November 1st, a day before the Rumble at the Ritz in Sanford. And he is the main event.
Yeah.
And he's coming off of his very, very spirited effort against Teofimo Lopez, who at one time was the undisputed 135-pound champion. He looked better in
that fight than Teofimo, by the way.
That happens. Teofimo has like fights that are like off and on, hit or miss.
I was in Tennessee watching it because one of my nephews got married. So that night I was watching it. I was in the lobby.
You couldn't talk him out of it?
Oh, why would I want to do that? After 20 years of bliss, why would I do that?
I love my life.
Yeah, I love it so much.
I love it so
much.
Help.
No, I didn't say that. I don't ignore how high my voice is getting.
Blink twice if you need help. I blinked like 50 times.
Oh,
I'm just kidding.
Boy. So this Friday. So if you want to really scratch that boxing itch this weekend, and you're in Central Florida, which is now the hub for Southeast boxing in this country, you should check out at the Caribe Royale on Friday, November 1st, the Boxlab show, which is going to also be on DAZN. But get your tickets now. And then Saturday night, join us Come say hey to us, by the way. Maybe we'll do a meet and greet. How about we do a meet and greet up in Sanford, November 2nd?
Oh, my goodness. Come up to us.
Why not?
Do a meet and greet. You know what? I might bring the camera.
Let's go to the German restaurant there. We're going to go.
They have a German restaurant there?
Oh, yeah.
We can do like an Oktoberfest.
I forget the name of it.
Oktoberfest do.
Oktoberfest is over. By the way, Central Florida, if you're listening to my voice or watching us, Oktoberfest is over. Stop doing Oktoberfest events. Oktoberfest is 16 days starting mid to late September.
I was getting ready to say, did you know Oktoberfest actually started in September?
Yes, it always does.
I didn't really know that.
I can't remember all the historical significance as to why, but Munich knows. Munich, Germany. It's 16 days. It's not the month of October. We're just stupid over here. When we want to celebrate and drink a lot of beer, that's fine. But anyways, come meet us, and maybe we'll be there, and you can buy me or maybe we just drink together a large, dark Dunkel beer because I'll be drinking that.
Uncle Dunkel.
When we were in Milwaukee, that was good.
Uncle Dunkel.
Uncle Dunkel was good.
Those big, those are big.
That's what she said. It's big and dark.
Oh my god.
Beer.
Oh my god.
Anyways, so if you want to scratch that boxing itch and you're in Central Florida, Friday, November 1st, Caribe Royale. Get your tickets now. Boxlab show. It's going to be on DAZN as well. Saturday, November 2nd in Sanford, Rumble at the Ritz, Hotel. Is it a hotel?
It's the Ritz Theater.
Theater,
yep,
that's right. Ritz Theater.
Yep.
Okay. You can also get your tickets now.
Mike Sawyer Promotions.
We'll put the links below. Weekend Trav. What else?
Well, I feel like I haven't said this in a long time, maybe ever on the podcast because we haven't had it in person.
168 episodes.
I know.
I've
never said this, but I want to say this.
Okay.
Because you're not going to know what I'm going to say, but you'll agree with it.
I don't know anything.
But you'll agree with it. I haven't said this in a long time, and this person, he's a boxer. I said he was going to take over a division and be in this division for a long time. And I want to officially retract that statement. And I want to tell everybody that Devin Haney is soft like Charmin.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Devin. I was a big advocate for you years and years ago on the podcast. I said that the 135-pound division, you were going to take it over long term. And now, after this whole Ryan Garcia debacle and you trying to sue him for beating you, I don't care if it was your dad's choice or not. You are a grown man. You tried to sue another boxer for beating your ass.
Who gives a crap that he had a minuscule amount that wasn't even impactful? You actually weighed more than him that day.
Charmin.
You weighed
Who
more.
Gives a crap?
You weighed more than him on fight day.
Of course, and they always talk about, oh yeah, Garcia was so big. Shut up.
You're a pugilist.
Devin Haney.
You're a fighter.
He rehydrates so much. No, you don't. That was some garbage. What kind of precedent are you setting by trying to sue somebody for beating you? Listen, if Ryan Garcia, and I've done enough research about it, and I know enough from common sense wise, the amount of Osterin that was in Ryan Garcia's system, okay, I don't agree with it.
No.
I do believe he should be punished,
sure.
whether he did it on purpose or not. And he is.
Now.
1 year, $1 million or something he did, right? But stop it. He didn't. The trace amounts of Osterin only showed up the day before and the day of because he was in the random blood testing and he passed all the tests up to the fight. The fact that he had Osterin, trace amounts of it in his system, I promise you, it did not help him. You just need to look out for his left hook and move on.
The only way you could take that out of our memory banks, all the millions and millions of people that saw that, is to do one of those Men in Black things, the
neuralizer or neutralizer,
that
or
flashes.
Something. Hey, look at this.
That's the only way you could possibly take that away from my memory banks.
And they tried to do that.
Oh, of course.
Devin Haney's father.
Yeah.
Threatened DAZN and said, you got to take this off your platform.
What do they call that? It's I've been accused of it before. What is it? When you try to convince somebody that it's not really true.
I don't know. You've been confused. There's been a lot of stuff.
Gaslighting. They're trying to gaslight us.
Oh,
They're trying to gaslight
for sure.
us.
Listen, Devin Haney, you lost. You got it taken off of your record, but it's burned in all of our memories.
Devin Diddy
You got your butt kicked. Move on. Stop talking about it. That's all I'm saying is just stop talking about it.
Yeah.
Because you're making Weekend Trav look bad because I thought you were going to be in your division This is about to fall. Yeah. I thought he was going to run the division for a little bit, and guess what? He's not.
No.
I'm officially retracting my statement, even though technically he has because he's undefeated. But I'm retracting it. I don't care. I'm retracting it. I don't even want to win that on a technicality.
No.
I'm retracting it. Devin Haney, you're soft like Charmin. And if nobody knows what Charmin is, Charmin's toilet paper and it's very soft. He's soft like Charmin.
All of our fans in the Philippines, because we have a lot of Filipinos that watch. I don't know why. Maybe because I'm quarter Filipino right here.
You. Yeah,
quarter
he talks
Filipino.
about it all the time.
I'm part of your people. I'm one of you.
I'm one of you.
Charmin is toilet paper. Devin's middle name is now Diddy.
Oh,
Devin Diddy Haney.
Devin Diddy Haney.
He is soft. He cries a lot. And he has no fashion sense, by the way. Stop wearing rock T-shirts like Korn and stuff. You can't even name 2 Korn songs. And you look ridiculous with your man purse, your Merce. Stop it. Stop it.
He's a Diddy prophet. So
stop it. Anyways, final thoughts. Maybe was that your final thought?
Yeah, it was. I retracted my Devin Haney.
Which is sad because he has so much talent.
I mean, I did. I thought he had the talent to run the division. No, you know what though? But this is it. I mean,
you can't look past everything.
No, and this is I speak about this a lot when I'm talking about boxers, and like I feel like I have a really good eye for talent, and I've pointed out a lot of talent over the years, and I feel like it's not just physical talent; it's mental talent. Right? He doesn't have it. And I've been around a lot of high-end professional athletes in NFL, NBA, tennis, women's and men's, boxing, all of that. And if you don't have it mentally, you don't got it. You're not going to get to that next level. You just don't. And you could still be very good, but you will not be great with that mentality. And I thought Devin Haney was going to be great. He's not. Devin Haney's very good. He won a world title. I think he won an undisputed world title. More than I ever did. So if anybody tries to jump on me, they're like, oh, Travis, okay, whatever. He did. He's got a very good career. I appreciate his career. Sure. But if you want me to comment on it like an expert analyst, he's not great. And he won't be great because of his mentality. Get your father out of there.
Oh, my God.
And even then, I think it's too late because you have been babied along so long in your life and you've been brought along so much by other people hyping you up that I don't think it's possible for you to get out of that little shell.
No. What you should do, and this is the last I'll say about it, you, Devin Haney, you need to look at your father and tell him to go up a river, drop this lawsuit nonsense and say, this is how I win. Yep. I come back with my fist. If you're listening to me, I'm holding my fist up. That's how I come back. I don't come back the legal way. I come back with my freaking fists and get back to it. You need to get back in the ring. 100% need to get back in the ring. Even if you are booed completely, you need to go back in the ring and actually try to devastate somebody, which who knows because you have pillow hands, so probably won't happen. Anyways.
I'm pretty sure that the case did get dismissed, by the way.
Well, it's because it's stupid.
As it should.
It's stupid.
As it should.
It's stupid. So is that it? 168 in the books?
I think that has to be it because I feel like my mic is about to slip completely off.
All these little things
pretty much
like work on again.
Devin Haney's career.
Okay.
It's about to slide off of the rails right now.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, that's that. So, episode 168 in the books, right?
Boom.
Okay. If you have yet to subscribe, please do so. YouTube, Rumble, audio stuff, Spotify, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, everywhere you get podcasts, Apple Podcasts. People ask us about that too. And so make sure you're also checking the links below. Follow for instance, Cortez, we'll put his information down there too. We interviewed him.
Yeah, look at our information. In the details, there's information there. And
there's a lot of stuff in there, but we do appreciate the support. And I'm just going to shut my mouth and say that over there is the talent Weekend Trav.
That there is B-Money, a.k.a. producer, a.k.a. the man, the myth, the legend that makes the podcast go round.
I don't know if that's good or bad. God bless.